Hello, welcome to Foreclosure Friday. I'm Dan Howell with Coldwell Banker, and I'm sure as you might notice, we are not in a foreclosure today, but we do have a very special house to talk about, and we also have a great guest today. His name is Emerson. He is with Solar City. So Emerson, we're going to check and see if he's here now. And he is. Come on in.
Hey Dan, how are you?
Good, Emerson, how are you?
All right, thanks for having me.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for coming.
No problem.
Of course, we had to take off our shoes because this house is absolutely beautiful.
That's right, this is a gorgeous house.
Walk this way. So Emerson, you're here today. You're here to tell us about solar panels. You're here to tell us a little bit about what you do. It's kind of new for this area from my understanding. And why don't you maybe tell us a little bit about it?
Yeah, exactly. I work for Solar City. We are the nation's largest solar provider. It's been around for over a decade in some states out west, but it's brand new to this area. The future has finally come to Pittsburgh. We are a publicly traded company and owned by Tesla, the car company, which is an innovative, groundbreaking company along with Solar City that is literally changing the world.
You never would think that.
That's right.
Yeah, we see, I feel like more and more we see, there's solar panels everywhere. You drive down the road, you see them along the turnpike, you see them on signposts, kind of, right?
Yeah, the lighted signs, lamp posts, they're everywhere. And what I do is strictly residential on homes, but they are popping up left and right. And as I said, Solar City is new to Western Pennsylvania just in the last 6-7 months. But this solar revolution is literally catching on fire, and it's a force that can't be stopped, really.
Yeah, that's awesome. So we're here today in this house. We're going to talk a little bit about, the different things about, you said you do the residential solar panels. So tell us a little bit about how that happens with this.
So not every home is compatible with solar, unfortunately. There's a lot of different factors. A lot of it has to do, I don't want to step on the cat here, who's looks like having a good time here. but a lot of it has to do with the roof, obviously. This home has a nice open surface.
Actually, you know what? It's sunny out. Let's go take a look at the roof.
Okay, sounds good, yeah.
We were trying to deal with weather issues earlier, which is why we're inside. We wanted to do this segment outside, but of course, weather in North Huntingdon can be windy one minute and sunny the next. So.
And it is definitely sunny out today, so this is perfect. Okay, so as you can see, it's bright and sunny today with just a little bit of cloud cover. We did have some snow this morning, but this home here, as you can see, is getting a lot of sun on it. Now the front of this home faces north. Most of your sunlight on a roof is going to be from the south, but potentially this roof would be able to accommodate panels on the front and back, but any panels that would be placed on the back of the home would be much more productive because it's going to catch a lot more sunlight. This neighborhood, how old is this neighborhood, Dan?
This house in particular is 11 years old.
Okay, so as you can see, the trees are still fairly young. So there's not a lot of shade that would fall on this home, which is perfect. So it's going to catch a lot of sunlight.
Let's take it back inside. I want to make sure we can hear. I just want to show the roof. Now it's getting windy, of course. So.
But if you see, it's nice and open. If you have a lot of dormers or dips and valleys, obviously we can't mount on that. But this has a nice open space that we'd be able to mount some panels on. That's right. Got to keep these floors nice and beautiful.
So you mentioned trees, and of course you can't have the trees overshadowing the house or solar would not work out very well for you.
That's right. The more sun, the better.
So speaking of trees, trees are one of the things that we kind of want to bring up as far in the real estate world too, because you really don't want trees overhanging your house, no matter if you're interested in solar or not. So trees overhanging, trees leaning up against any type of vegetation leaning against your house opens you up for critters to come inside of the house, carpenter ants, termites, anything. It gives them almost like a bridge from the ground to the inside of your house. But not only that, if you take a second, take a look at the trees outside now. Can anybody pick out which trees are alive and which trees are not?
I see some hands going up.
Probably not. And so that's one thing to consider. So if your house is surrounded by trees, there's a lot of trees in the back, they may not all be alive. And whenever the spring comes, you notice that you've just bought the dead forest. Might be a little expensive to remove all of those. So it's just something to consider. Like I said, you definitely don't want them overhanging the house, especially because this guy wouldn't have a job. So now you were talking about, I know we talked briefly about some things beforehand, which is the different utility companies that have different offerings for everything. So.
Correct. So Solar City, as I said, is the nation's largest solar provider. We're currently in about 23 states, and within those states we're usually in the major utility markets. Your solar options are going to depend solely based on which utility market you're in. Locally in Western Pennsylvania, we're in 3 utility markets: West Penn Power, and Duquesne Light. Duquesne Light, we're able to offer the most solar options currently, and we hope things change. There's more things to come. In Penn Power, in West Penn Power, we simply have an ownership model to where the homeowner would invest in owning their solar system, which would basically mean they own a power plant on their property that's going to produce electricity for them.
Which is good for resale.
It's great for resale. It adds value to your home. You can associate that value in the sales price of the home. But when you own your solar system, currently there's a federal tax credit of 30% when you invest into your solar system.
Okay.
So a typical solar system, it could range drastically, but an average system size is usually anywhere from $15,000 to $35,000, but that's not accounting for that 30% tax credit that the homeowner is going to take advantage of.
And that's if you purchase it yourself.
Correct. Now that's always been the mode to go solar until recently, a few years ago, our company developed this model that's going to allow the everyday person to go solar with zero investment out of your pocket. And again, this all depends on which utility market you're in. But locally, if you're with Duquesne Light and your home qualifies for solar, basically you would have the option, in addition to investing in the system, to basically, you're giving permission for Solar City to put their equipment on your roof. Now, Solar City is putting on average $15,000 to $35,000 of equipment on your roof,
sure.
And you're going to pay for the electricity that system produces for you, but you're going to pay less than what you're paying with the utility company. And the real value of this in going solar is the homeowner, regardless of which model, is taking control of their energy, and they're getting predictability in the costs in paying for electricity, because every single year the homeowner would know exactly how much they're paying for electricity, which is protecting them from the unpredictable rate hikes and changes in electric rates.
So, and I just wanted to kind of touch back on what he was talking about as far as the resale of the value. Of course, if you have solar panels on your roof, it's going to be so much easier to sell. Well, I shouldn't say so much easier. It adds value. I mean, it definitely adds value to your house, and it's an investment throughout the years. I mean, think of anybody out there purchasing a house. You don't have an electric bill. I mean, we hear it all the time with natural gas, especially in this area. If there's a gas well on the property, a lot of these folks will purchase this property and have free gas. Well, what about purchasing a property and having free electric? I mean, to me, that's just as that's just as exciting when you walk into that.
Correct.
Now, as far for all of you people out there that know me, I steer you away from Zillow. However, this guy here said that talking about Zillow, there's a very important part about Zillow. And by the way, Zillow's getting a lot better, but tell us a little bit about what Zillow has to offer.
So Zillow, on certain properties, not every property, but a lot of properties, Zillow now features a Sun number or a Sun index number, and that's under the facts section of the home in Zillow. But that sun number basically tells you, it gives you a number on a scale of 0 to 100 of how compatible that home is for solar. So that's how mainstream solar is nationwide, and we know locally here it's still very new and fresh. So the biggest thing that I do really is educate people and create awareness for solar, for something that other people in other states have been taking advantage of for years and more than a decade.
So you can really talk to anybody that owns their house. You can kind of talk to them and see where they stand with the solar.
Correct. So basically, if you own a home and you use electricity, unless you're Amish, or you're not comfortable with something going on your roof, 9 times out of 10 we have a solar solution that's going to meet your needs, as long as we are working with that utility company.
And I heard you speaking before, and some of the questions that I didn't even think about myself, was, so we put this $30,000 equipment on the top of our roof. Well, what happens if I need a new roof?
Great question. Great question, because it's going over top of
that'd be a lot of money to put back on again.
Exactly.
Right?
So the best time to go solar is after you get a new roof, because that solar system, the average lifespan of the system is about 35 years, so it's going to be up there for a while. We have the best warranty in the industry. We're going to warrant it for at least 20 years, so it's going to be up there for at least 20 years. At any point during that time, if you need a new roof, just give us a call. We'll take the system down and we'll put it back on once you have that system up there. There is a fee to do that, but it's very reasonable.
Okay. And best type of roof. I know there's different materials that roofs have. You have slate, you have wooden shakes, you have metal roofs, you have asphalt roofs, you have asbestos roofs. You have so many different types of roofs. You can't even walk on some of the roofs a lot of times. So what do those folks do?
Correct. So there's a lot of different type of roofs I was talking about earlier. If you have dormers all over the place and a bunch of dips and valleys on a very architectural roof, we don't have area to mount on. But the surface makes a big difference as well. The best roofs type is a traditional asphalt shingle roof for us to be able to mount on that. Currently, until technology changes, we can't mount on wood shake, slate, 90% of metal roofs we cannot mount on. And the pitch has a lot to do with it as well, because that has to do with the orientation of the sun. So if you have an extremely steep roof, there's a chance that could be disqualified. Other roof surfaces, rubber roof, rolled rubber, right? We can't do that.
Oh, you cannot? Okay.
Nope. So the best type is the traditional asphalt shingle.
Okay. Well, is there anything else that I didn't ask? Is there anything else that you wanted to cover, or anybody that's watching? If anyone wants to ask Emerson a question, he's gonna finish up with what he has to say here. Then we're gonna walk around the house. Anybody can ask any questions, of course. Anybody can add to our comments about the house as well. But is there anything that you...
Kind of two things. The biggest thing, a lot of people watching this may be thinking, well, yeah, today's a sunny day, but this is Western Pennsylvania, and we got a lot of clouds, right? So solar can't work here. Solar City, who is owned by Tesla, as I said, and Elon Musk, those are pretty smart guys and a smart company. They would not come into this market unless this worked.
You would not have a job.
That's right. I would be working.
They would not bring him.
Correct.
Right.
But a country that is leading the world in solar is Germany. About half of Germany's electric needs are powered from solar, and Germany actually receives a little bit less sunlight than the Western Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh market, so it definitely works here. As far as with the realtors and selling the homes, you touched on this a little bit. Regardless of which model somebody's in with solar, it's definitely going to create value to the home. Now, when you own it, that value is going to be translated into a dollar amount when you're asking for that, because you own that electricity. When Solar City owns that equipment and you're just paying less for electricity, you're not going to attach a dollar of value when you resell the home, but you're going to use that as a selling feature to the next homeowner, that this home uses clean, renewable energy, but the utility bills in this home are going to be less than the identical home down the street that doesn't have solar, and it looks pretty cool too.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so we're going to take a second, just walk around the house. So starting about the house, this house is located in North Huntingdon and the Kerber Farm area, or Kerber Farm plan rather. So this house in particular, it has a lot more windows than a lot of the typical houses do. They, the colors they're such bold colors, but they go so well in this. And I know we were commenting about the gas fireplace and the nice woodwork that we have with that.
And a phenomenal sound system.
The sound system.
Big, screen TV.
So I was here a couple of times while the sound system was on, and it felt like you were right in the middle of what you were watching. So the sound system is definitely a great addition to this. They since then have added new flooring, which is throughout the whole entire first floor of the house, which makes it really nice. They've added the deck, the back deck, huge.
I really like this home's open floor plan as well, with the living room leading into the eating area and the kitchen with the island, which would be great for entertaining and utilizing that sound system. I'd like to come over here for a Super Bowl or a Steeler game or something.
This is a great house for entertaining, and that's what we see a lot. That's what a lot of folks are looking for, is just an area to entertain, bring the family over, bring their friends over, just have a good time and have the area. I mean, so you have this whole big open floor plan, the kitchen. Everybody can be watching the TV or anything else that's going on, overflow onto the outside, or as some of you might call it, the smoker's deck. We also, they have the kitchen remodeled. We have everybody's looking for slow closed drawers, so we have the slow closed drawers on here. On the inside, we do have the upgraded cabinets with the drawers that come out. Newer stainless steel appliances. They just added a lot of really nice features to the house. We can move into the dining room. Now, there's a lot of, when they build these homes, which this is a Ryan home, you can actually, I'm going to try to stand where I'm not in the shadow here, you can add a lot of different space to the house. So in this case, this house, you can do a front extension, or as I like to call it, a front bump out, and also a back bump out. This house has both, which makes that open floor plan a lot larger and a lot of, more of an open feeling. And here, even having the bump out in the front gives you so much more space in this dining room. I mean, another great place for entertaining, having the family over.
Correct, agreed.
So, walk back through. We have the little, I don't know, what Diane call it, the toilet closet? No, she called it the water. Oh, well, it is a powder room. I guess it's only a water closet if it's in your bedroom. I don't know. Diana might be able to help us out with that a little bit more. But anyway, I want to thank you all for watching. We're going to put Emerson's information. Do you want to tell them a little how to get a hold of you? And we'll also put it in the comments section after the live feed.
Definitely. Feel free to visit our website, solarcity.com, which has a great wealth of information on there and some cool pictures. And please feel free to contact me directly. I'll be putting my information in the comments section. You can reach me directly on my cell phone at 724-331-4514, or email me directly to Fazekas@solarcity.com, which that's a tough last name. So look in the comments section for that one.
And of course, I'm Dan Howell. You all hopefully know how to get a hold of me. Please visit my website also at www.danhowellrealtor.com. And thanks for having us. And
Actually, thanks for having me.
Oh, we have a question.
Yeah, we have two questions.
Two questions.
Hopefully we have some answers.
They're from before.
Okay.
Are there still tax incentives about the...
Yeah, the tax incentives, was that 30% tax credit that I was referring to? That's a federal tax credit. Now, the homeowner only takes advantage of the tax credits and incentives when they invest in owning the system. If Solar City's owning the system and you're giving them permission in that no-cost investment model, Solar City is taking advantage of the tax credit in that model. Yes.
Who is that question from?
Brighton Crumb.
Oh,
Mr. Crumb, thanks for joining us, buddy.
And then, again, from him, what's the minimum surface area to install with a financial benefit?
That varies. So the biggest thing is all based off of how much electricity the homeowner and home uses. So what I do is I come in and I meet with homeowners and I sit down and I look at your utility bill, along with asking questions and answering questions to better understand your situation and your needs with that home. But typically, probably the smallest is close to 300 square feet of open usable space. And again, that all depends on the orientation to the sun, how much shade exposure you're going to get. So there's a lot of different factors as well. But I'd say about 300 square feet, about the minimum, 250, 300.
okay. Is that it? All the other, okay. So in closing, I guess, I just want to let everybody know that I know we've been doing a lot of foreclosures up until this point, but we don't always have to do foreclosures. I can show you a beautiful house just like this that I listed, and any other one that's currently on the market. Anybody looking to list their house, sell their house, looking for a new house, feel free to contact me anytime. I can show you the foreclosures. I can show you higher end. I can show you whatever it is that you're looking for, or even if you have any questions, feel free to contact me anytime. And of course, any solar questions, feel free to contact Emerson as well. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.